And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
For week number 6, we come to Dover, Delaware, the Monster Mile, a concrete track located in the New England states. And here tonight, we get to find out what some of these drivers are made of. For over 200 miles here tonight, live from the virtual Dover Motor Speedway, it's the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and as always, up here in the booth, we've got a lot of production here tonight as we go flag to flag coverage live here on Vspeed. You take a look here at Dover Motor Speedway, 24-degree banking, some of the most extreme banking in NASCAR, and one of 2 racetracks next to Bristol that has a fully concrete surface. This racetrack was repaved after its inaugural build. It had asphalt pavement. Doesn't matter either way, it's still been a great racetrack, and some of the drivers that have won here have went on to win championships, or drivers that had won championships ended up getting wins here. So it really is a driver's track if you boil it all down. Race analysis here tonight. 240 laps, stage break number 1, well, only stage break of the night, will be on lap 75 with unlimited green-white checkers here, and we have 5 tire sets, 55 miles per hour pit road speed limit, and of course, the iRacing fixed setup, as always, here in the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series. But with that, let's take you trackside now and get that grid up on your screen. Starting on the pole here tonight, it's going to be the number 44 of Radburn Shutters. He puts up a time of 23.231. James Silvers is going to start in the second position next to him. And then row number 2 belongs to Peyton Hubbard and Brandon Holder in the number 9. Holder having a great week there. Monday night got the win in the Truck Series. He's going to try to do the same here tonight. Eric Hutton's going to start in the 5th position with Justin Sorrell in 6th spot. And moving on back, David Farmer, Brandon McLaughlin, 7th and 8th position. And rounding out that top 10, it's going to be Cody Anderson and Yusuf Ghali. 11th spot belongs to Matt Greener with Michael Kostick in 12th. 13th is Nick Mills, Daniel Worthington in 14th. 15th, Craig Schroeder with Sean Kaser in 16th. 17th, Wes Wiggin. Blake Hensley will be in the 18th spot to start tonight. And our arm board there with the number 31. He'll be the only driver with a camera, but John Schwartz will be in 19th with GT Hawkins in 20th. 21st, Lucas Lyons rounding out that field. Here tonight, tall order for all these drivers. A lot of work to be done. So race number 6 about to be underway. 21 cars about to peel off and take the high banks here in Delaware. Pace car about to pull off, and the 44 of Radburn Shutters on point. Gonna take him into turn 1 on the inside. James Silvers, high up there in the points, is gonna try to defend. But live here tonight at the Monster Mile into the restart zone, we're live and racing in the Cup Series. And coming by to lead lap number 1. It's going to be Shutters, and he pulls out to a massive lead. Shutters pulls out almost a full second over Silvers. It's 7/10 as they come off of turn 2. Gotta wonder, is that 44 car burning up his stuff, though, driving it that hard? And we look behind the 17. Eric Hutton peeks to the inside. Door gets closed. Silver's not going to let him by for second. And the 51 of Hubbard gets pinned up on the outside. He falls back to 5th. Now on board with the 45 of Yusuf Ghali as he tries to get around on the outside of Farmer. Almost 3 wide there for a moment. And they will go 3 wide for a brief second out of 2. Down to the inside now for the 45 of Ghali. He's trying to get by Farmer. Just hasn't found the hole, and Hubbard holds him up on the bottom. Really loose there. And Peyton Hubbard saves it somehow, but he's going to lose a ton of positions. He actually does clip the wall there. Let's get back on the instant replay and take another look at that. Really loose here off the exit of turn 4. And unfortunately gets a little touch there with the wall. Back up here to the front, though, 1.4 seconds ahead already, and we're only 6 laps into this race. Shutters has checked out from this field. And if this isn't your first time watching these broadcasts here on Vspeed, you'll notice something different here with our overlays tonight. We've got what I think is a new and great addition to our overlays here. We're going to break it out and beta test it here tonight in the Cup Series. We have a horizontal ticker. So let's try that out, see how you guys like it. Let me know in the chat if it works and looks okay. Right now, it seems to be working fine. As we show your leader, and we have a yellow flag. It's the 113 and the 42, Cody Anderson, coming down the backstretch. So our first caution here on lap number 8 as they cross the line for lap number 9. Let's go back on the instant replay and find out what happened to these two. Happens down the backstretch, man. The 113 just snapped loose up into the outside and tags the back end of Cody Anderson. Let's get it on board here with the number 113. And another car got a piece of that. I believe that was Sean Kaser. I'm not 100% sure, but let's back it up one more time here. And he barely snuck through that. I don't think he hit him. If he did, it was light. Well done there by the 25 car to get through that. But while we were watching those replays, the 44 car who had that great lead, he loses a couple spots here on pit road. Comes down the top off of fuel and loses about 3 positions. And we also had 3 cars stay out. David Farmer, Craig Schroeder, and GT Hawkins, the top 3 now, as they stayed out. Doesn't look like anyone took tires. We got a few drivers getting damage repaired. Of course, 42 of Farmer and the 113 of Worthington. Heavy damage there for the 113. He'll probably be in there for a meatball flag as there comes the 42 back out onto the racetrack. Heavy right rear damage. Might affect him a little bit here. Dover straightaways are long enough that aero does come to play a factor, and with the high-speed banking, not quite like Bristol where you have that aero not as much of a factor at the shorter tracks. Here tonight at Dover, it will, overall, the speed probably knock a couple tenths off that 42 car. We'll have to wait and see. But now doubling back up. Schroeder going to be on the outside of Farmer, and for the first time today, we have a new leader after that pole sitter of Shutters pulled away over a second in just a short amount of time. Let's see what happens if the 44 is in dirty air. Clean air might just be such an advantage here. We might see the same with Farmer pull away. So pace car gets ready to pull off for the second time here tonight. Coming up for lap number 12 when they cross the line to go back green. Remember that stage break at lap 75. We're about a fifth of the way there, a little over that. We get set to go here. Green flag is out. We're back underway at Dover. And doesn't look like Hawkins is going to let the 84 run away. 3 cars peel out, though, and Shutters is one of them. Lost track of where I was on the racetrack there for a moment, so put that ticker back up there and let me know what you prefer. I know having the names up there at all times may be a little bit better, but I do like how we can see everything. Got a nice wide angle here. So come out of turn 2. Farmer has his hands full for the lead. Hawkins has not let him get away. This spread here for the top 5 has grown tremendously. Got some side-by-side racing back here. Brandon McLaughlin has the 9 to the inside now. Brandon Holder, who's going to go by. Now dive to the bottom there by Wiegand. A couple spots lost there for the 81 cars. He almost clips the wall coming out of 4. Another car to the inside now. That's Craig Schroeder in the 56. So a freight train driving by on the inside. The 81 car loses a couple more spots. He's trying to get down to that bottom. Trying to mitigate some of this lost positions. Car gets loose. That's air off the back. We saw that earlier, and a car is sideways. 56 of Schroeder locks it down. And the yellow flag comes out. Excellent job there to not come back up into the field. But it ultimately brings out a yellow flag here on lap 17. We pretty much saw it all happen there. But we'll take an instant replay and show you the air coming off the back of this spoiler. Oh boy. Now on board here with Worthington. Thank you, Donna. Oh, that is a little clip there. That is a little touch. That brings out caution number 2 of the night. So electing to stay out again is Hawkins and Farmer. John Schwartz comes down pit road with Yusuf Ghali. These drivers out now. Actually, just now hitting their stall for the 45. playing the fuel strategy game. Steve McDonald, thank you for the compliments. More of the track is visible. I think I like it. We still have the old one that we can bring up occasionally. Bring it up there on the side. Kind of give you a still frame of what we have grid-wise. But I think overall, having that up on the top looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. And that's what we do. We aim to please here at Vspeed. Putting in the work. I'd like to thank Adam Baker for creating that and doing all the things that he does behind the scenes to make stuff like this work properly, because if I would have built it, it wouldn't have worked. I promise you that. All I know is buttons. That's how I do it. Click it until you break it. So David Farmer is going to resume the lead. Hawkins, who was hot on the tail for that restart, takes it back over here in the second position. Bradburn Shutters, your pole sitter, sitting back in third. He was running right behind these guys. And then a newcomer here into the top 5. You've got Michael Kostick, who is up 6 positions from where he began this race, alongside James Silvers. The lights will go out on the pace car this time by. And we'll get set here to restart him for the 3rd time tonight at the Monster Mile. So Dover, one of those couple tracks I mentioned in the beginning of this broadcast, paved with concrete, and it's a very abrasive surface. It will chew the right front, clean off these things within 10 laps. That's what you saw with some of these drivers clipping the exit wall in turns 2 and turns 4. But you also see drivers get really loose because of how much wheel they have to put in it to keep it to the bottom. And if someone gets on that back bumper, it's really easy for these drivers to get loose. You've seen it twice down the front stretch, and that brings out the second caution of the night, where the 56 of Schroeder, he just clipped the inside wall. I mean, tried to gather it, drove it all the way to the bottom, just couldn't get it back gathered up. Once you kind of step that right rear out, it's hard to tell, and sometimes it feels like the car will come out the other side. By that time, it's just a little too late. I gotta say, shout out to Farmer rocking the Vspeed logo on the side of that 84 machine. Always cool to see the logo on any car. And we have an early exit here for the 25 of Sean Kaser. Not sure if he had a connection issue or if he had damage, but he is done for the night, and the 25 machine has pulled it behind the pit wall. So Craig Schroeder brings out the second caution. He'll be restarting here in 19th spot. David Farmer into turn 1 as the pace car gets ready to pull off, and we hit that Geico restart zone. Green flag up in the air. We're back live and racing here at Dover. Let's turn it up here for these next 20 plus laps. Still hanging with the 84 car, the 44 of Shutters. They pull out this about the same gap that they had before. This top 4 is a little bit uneven with the rest of this field. You might have drivers saving those tires, but right now, the way the cautions are falling, I don't know that that's really going to matter, because we keep hitting pit road, we keep pacing around this racetrack. You're not going to burn them up. It's hard to use your stuff when you're not up to speed. Looking back off your leader, the 14 car is all but there. All over the back bumper now. The 84 as they come out of turn 4. He's going to dive to the inside. A little peek there. Doesn't quite have anywhere to go with the run, but he does have the nose to the inside of turn 1. And the change for the lead And maybe a crossover here by Farmer. A little loose condition there from the 14 car. He holds on to it out of 2. And officially, Hawkins takes over the point. Car into the wall back there. Looks like Nick Mills got a piece of it. Remember, last time around, Mills had an excellent race. Here tonight, looking like he's a top 5 contender, but a little struggle there coming out of turn 4. That brush with the wall caused a little right side damage. Eric Hutton, who was up here in the top 3 earlier, he's 8 spots down back at 13th. And he's got his teammate, Yusuf Ghali, working the inside here for that position now. In front of them, Blake Hensley on the move. On board, just got a little nicotine in the veins to calm him down a little bit. So he drives it into 1 and 2 right now. You can see the different lines in front of him. He's going to have to size up the 51 of Hubbard. And try to be careful not to get up on the back bumper and get him loose. Hensley blinks out there briefly. He's still holding on to it. Back up here up front, Hawkins has maintained the lead now for about 4 laps led as he comes out of turn 4. Now coming up on number 5, but he's really tight, and that 84 Farmer is not cutting him any slack at all. Farmer actually loses the nose there in 1 and 2. Trying to maintain this gap of about 0.2 of a second. He gets a good drive off of 4. But into 1 and 2, he lost the nose there, and off the exit of 4, Hawkins starts to pull away another 10th that lap with a 23.5. Farmer a 23.7. Lots of racing going on back here deep in the field. There's Yusuf Ghali going by on the inside of Blake Hensley now for the 11th position. He will clear that and move up a spot. Michael Kostick to the outside of Brandon Holder, who's trying to take away the 6th position. And off of turn 2, it looks like Holder almost got him clear, but nice rebound there from Kostick. He'll drive defensively into 3. A little difficult there to keep that entry on the outside, and he'll give up the position. So on the move here for the 45 of Yusuf Ghali, but if you kind of wonder, he started in 10th. He's went back and forth. He hasn't really had a chance with this green flag run, though. We still got about 40 laps to go. Plenty of opportunity. So tough to pass, though, at Dover. And as you can see, using those tires while they're still cold, his drivers pushed the issue. They got by. Well, thank you, Eddie Smith. Appreciate it. Always good to see the other producers here at Vspeed in the chat. How are you doing? You know, Eddie, if you're bored, there's always room for you in the booth. I know these Overtake iRacing League guys have been missing you. Ultimately, I miss you, Eddie. So on board here with Wes Wigan, and he is up 4 spots from where he began the race, but he was actually in a little bit higher position than this at one point. He had worked his way into the top 10. He came back down pit road, topped off with fuel, and fell out of the top 10. He's back up to 12th and working on it. Car's single filing out, though, in front of him. Seems that the right front tire has all but heated up, and a little overdrive there with the 89 as he enters 3, opens up the door for the 48 of Schwartz now, and Lucas Lyons to the inside in the 77. He's going to go by. But Wigan starting to struggle. He put the curse of the camera on this guy. Let's help him out. Let's get it off of there. Checking out now to almost 0.7 of a second, though. The 14 of Hawkins pulls out to lead another lap. Your pole sitter back to third. The 44 of Shutters has not had that clean air, and it looks like it's been beneficial to the 14. I think track position's so key here. We might see some strategy, and I can hear some clutching going on here, and the 14 car might not be able to make it to the end of the stage on fuel. He's going to try it, though. Complete silence here as he sails into turns 1 and 2. And you got a lot of fuel in these machines, but not enough to go 75 laps. And he's 40 in now to this stint as he comes by the line. So there's only 2 cars on this racetrack right now that have not hit pit road since these cautions, Hawkins and Farmer. And can they make it on fuel? I don't know. Kind of the job of the broadcaster to maybe have that information, but based off of them clutching it right now, it must be a realistic goal that they might be able to do it. Doesn't sound like Farmer's clutched it at all. Hawkins in that clean air, though, he's going to have to do that. We hear that 14 back up to full song. The spread now between third and fourth is 1.7 seconds. And this field has spread out quite considerably. I'm going to see what 1.5 seconds looks like here at Dover on board with the 17 of Silvers. Touch with the ball there with a 9 of Holder. He got passed by Yusuf Ghali, who's up 3 spots now from where he began the race, and about +7 from where we last talked about him, up to the 7th position. We talked about him in 14. Ghali's been strong since he came over here in the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series. He's really shown a lot of speed. And he's got some wins under his belt, and he's got a lot of podium finishes. Look for him to be a heavy contender for this championship. 45 car has been stout. We'll go back up front, 1.2 seconds. The 84 under fire from Shutters now as they go into 3 and 4. Dive to the inside now for second. Can he complete the pass? Shutters not clear. Down the front stretch, side by side, slams the door. And he'll get clear. And drive it off into the sunset. Second position now for your pole sitter. Working his way back towards the lead. So again, in the chat, we had Eddie Smith. That is the producer and owner of VSRN. If you haven't checked out the Vspeed Racing Network on YouTube, be sure to go over there and give it a follow. Subscribe to that channel. We always appreciate everything Eddie does for us here. He does an excellent job. A lot of goat locker over there. I hope you guys like different series. Catch a lot of that in the evenings, about 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Blake Hensley under fire, goes to the inside of Holder here. This is for the 7th. This is inside of Nick Mills, rather, for the 7th spot. Can he complete this pass coming off of turn 4? They're going to be really tight. Michael Kostick, who was in the top 3 a moment ago, he falls all the way back to 9th, 10th position almost. But he's back inside of the 88. Oh boy, really tight there off of 2. You have to plan these passes accordingly and dive at the right time. Still side by side here through 1 and 2. Playing defense is Mills. He's trying to hold on to this top 10. We're coming up on stage break. We've got about 35 to go, 36 to go, and The laps keep ticking away. Caustic needs to get clear of this car if he wants any shot to chase down Blake Hensley and Brandon Holder. But they're side by side behind him as well. There's Schwartz on the inside. He does get clear of Holder. Actually, it's Justin Sorrell. I keep saying Holder. There's a lot of cars that share a paint with that 9 car here tonight. Holder is actually in the 6th position. He just got passed by Yusuf Ghali. So Ghali, who hasn't had a lot of luck with stage points yet this season, works his way into the top 5 with about 25 to go. That lead dwindles down a little bit. It's under 0.6 of a second now. The 44 car, your pole sitter, has reeled in GT Hawkins, who's on the clutch still. Has he saved enough yet? Apparently not, because he's still clutching it. He's got a lot of racing left to do. This is going to be a tall order for the 14 team if they can make it on 75 laps. And even then, will they run out before they come back around when pit stops are open? I really have no idea. You might consider getting behind Shutters and drafting him, save the fuel just to make it to the end of the stage, because if he has to come down pit road right now, he's going to lose a ton of positions, because only one other driver out here on the racetrack, David Farmer, has not hit pit road. He will lose spots to everybody on this racetrack outside of that. And the 44 isn't saving anything. He only has 45 laps. 10-lap advantage on fuel here for Radburn Shutters as he continues to shave away this lead. And 20 laps to go in the stage as they come across the line. There's the change for the lead. And Hawkins gets behind. Can he draft it now? Can he hold on? Still on the clutch here through 3 and 4. A long, long clutch. He's in extra mode to try to save enough, and I don't think he's going to make it. If he's saving that hard, it's well out of reach here. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Now remember, there will be a yellow flag that will reset the field. However, if you're the 14 car right now, you really don't want to have to come down pit road. It puts you in a situation where you go a lap down, then you're relying on another yellow to come out and get you back on the lead lap. Then you have all those cars from starting at the tail end of the longest line to get back around. Makes it for a lot more work than it needs to be. And that's why I was really surprised that Hawkins and Farmer didn't come down pit road to try to get enough. Hawkins could be driving away from the 44 right now. Situationally, not here to critique the driver's decisions. I mean, that's why they're on the track and I'm up here in the booth. But sometimes it's just a little hard to tell and do that strategy on the fly. Brandon Holder catching up here to the 3rd place driver. It's David Farmer, and behind him, he has James Silvers, Blake Hensley, Yusuf Ghali, all charging fast. Yusuf Ghali lost a couple positions. He was up to 5th, now back to 7th here. 45 car was looking for a top 5 in this stage break. And there's Farmer, makes a little mistake there, opens up the door for Holder to get 3rd. Still some shuffling around back here. Hensley to the inside now, the 17 of Silvers for 4th. On board, up 13 positions to the top 5 now for the 31 car. And all smiles here as we approach the stage break. Your pole sitter back up front. He's going to get some more laps led, and based off of the times, unless we get a caution, something dramatic happens in the 44 car. Looking like he's probably going to lock this stage up. Hawkins going to get a solid second if he can hold on fuel. As we go through this field, the top three has kind of changed hands. Brandon Holder up to third. Gets a little tag with the wall there. Nothing too dramatic, though. Doesn't look like he picked up really any damage from that. He's in a solid third spot. Blake Hensley in fourth position. Looking to get those stage points. He's got a lot of hungry cars behind him. James Silver's under fire now from Yusuf Ghali. He's rebounding, trying to get back into that fifth spot. All over the back bumper. 45 drives it down to the inside into one. A little pinch there on the entry, but Silver's he's in defense mode, and it looks like he's got a whole freight train of cars coming out of turn two. The 8 Acoustic peaks there for a second. The 45 gets tight coming off the 2 and loses the ground. He had the nose and he lost it. Now the 8 Acoustic opened up the door for Nash. Or actually, Schwartz, rather. On board with the 48 car. Let's see what he's seeing as Acoustic peaks to the inside of Ghali off of 2. 10 laps to go here for the stage break. Shutters off into the sunset. He's pulled away about a second over the 14 of Hawkins. For a moment here, we'll bring the full ticker up on the left-hand side of the screen, show you the distance. Cody Anderson, 5 laps down here. Daniel Worthington, 13 laps down. Remember, that was caution number 1 of the night. Both those drivers got heavy damage. Worthington getting the worst end of that. Sean Kaser is out of the race, and Daniel Worthington also off the racetrack. I'm not sure if he's done for the night. He briefly came back there for a moment, but he'll be scored in 19th and 20th for Sean Kaser. So moving back to what looks pretty up here on the top of your screen. Second place Hawkins, 1.1 seconds. Might have enough fuel here to make it to the end for stage number 1. Lap 69 across the line. Yusuf Ghali gets around the outside for 5th position. He passes John Schwartz. The 84 Farmer had to bring it down pit road. He will lose all those positions. Does Hawkins have enough? If Farmer had to hit pit road, oh, it's going to be close. Complete silence here in the 14 car. Trying to roll as long as he can. He's got plenty of room here for Brandon Holder. He can afford to save a little bit more if he wants to. But he doesn't want to let Holder reel him in. He also doesn't want to run out of fuel. He's got to find that balance. Hensley in 4th spot. Yusuf Ghali up to 5th. He still has the 48 of Schwartz and Michael Kostick in the 8 within striking distance if he makes a mistake. Side by side back here for 10th spot. Wes Wigan into the inside of Eric Hutton. 84 Farmer on those fresh tires gets by. He's on the charge. But coming by for the white flag for stage number 1, it's the 44 of Shutters. Looks like the 14 of Hawkins did save enough fuel, but Shutters gets back on point after starting on the pole, and he'll lead as they come by for the checkered flag. Stage 1 winner, the 44 Radburn Shutters. So stage 1 win, excellent job there by the 44 car to rebound. Now it's a matter of coming down pit road, and you know Hawkins is starving for some fuel as he coasted around this track trying to catch up to that pace car. They'll meet him here on the entrance of turn 3. So our second round of pit stops about to be underway. 76 laps on the stint for Hawkins. Now remember, some of those under yellow, we had 2 cautions before that stage break. And it looks like the 77 going to stay out to try to get a lap back here. That's Lucas Lyons trying to go back up. 44 leads him down in. Hawkins, Holder, Hensley, Golly, the top 5 as we come down. 55 miles per hour. There's Hawkins into his stall. Hensley hits his. There's Schwartz, Wigan, Kostick, Golly, Holder, and now your pole sitter hits his. And he has to be careful. He made a little mistake there that last time that cost him a couple positions. But he has the advantage here to the green cones. Just don't hit the pedal too hard and get a speeding penalty. Down and away here for the 14 of Hawkins. It's going to be a close battle here. Holder's going to gain a position and pick up second as they come out, but Radburn Shutters holds on to the lead. We are watching the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series live here on Vspeed. We're going to take a quick commercial break and bring you the second stage of this event here at the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. More here on Vspeed right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The road gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here live at Dover, Delaware, getting ready for the second stage of this event. Lap number 80 about to be underway. Radburn Shutters, the stage winner, and he's going to lead him into turn one. The green flag is back out, and we're live and racing at Dover. And here comes Hawkins to the outside. Already a hard charge, and now the 14 car doesn't have to save. He's going to try to use those tires while he can. There's the 31 of Hensley, who had a decent stage up into the top 5. He falls back to 8th on this restart, and side by side back here with Silvers. So a couple drivers kind of fall back after those pit stops, lose a couple positions. Side by side for the lead. Hawkins dives it to the inside. Quick work there, the 44 car, and another change for the lead. Two cautions officially. We had our stage break that added the third. 6 lead changes, and you just saw the 6th one as they came into turns 1 and 2. This concrete surface doesn't get as hot as its asphalt counterpart, but it is much more abrasive. And if we can ride on the nose here, you can see the grooves in this racetrack. Let's look at the line working its way up the racetrack there, darkening in. Doesn't take this track long at all. We're not even at the halfway point here tonight. And this track already 50 shades of gray into 1 and 2. Yes, I made that reference. Six-tenths of a second. Shutters falls back. Yusuf Ghali works up to 3rd, but tags the wall coming out of 4, pushing a little too hard here for the 45, but still making up the ground on your second-place driver. Shutters going to be under fire soon from Holder and Ghali. Here's the 51 of Hubbard, trying to hold on to the top 10. Blake Hensley has fallen back to 10th position. These cars right on top of each other, but no passing as of yet. Still waiting on a mistake from any one of these guys. And we are ticking them away here. 86 laps into the books. A little look to the outside there by Wiegand, but he's got Farmer behind him. David Farmer got pinned a lap down, remember, had to hit pit road. And that was what I was worried about with the 14 of Hawkins. So now Farmer praying for a caution that brings this entire field down pit road so he can get back on the lead lap. Up 18 spots for the 14 car after he stayed out. He started what says the 20th position. So it'll actually be 19 gain. Not quite sure what my timing and scoring is trying to tell me here. But a mighty fine drive. How difficult it is to pass here. He had to do it on pit road with the strategy. As we look off the back of the 44 car, 2nd through about 6th position are all within a second of each other. So maybe a little tire saving there for the 44. He starts to pull a gap here on the 45. He's starting to reel back in Shutters as well, but that lead had grown all the way to a full second. But last time by, Shutters a little bit quicker. Let's see what we got here on the ticker as they come by for this lap. And Hawkins runs a 23.3. Shutters with a 23.4. He loses a tenth of a second that time by. Still no passing out here on this racetrack. It's been tough tonight. Jack Daniels Drinking School. Well, that's where I'd probably get a bachelor's degree if I was going to go somewhere. There's a pass for the 5th position now, as you see John Schwartz go by the outside of Kostick. And now a pass for 2nd as the 45 peeks to the outside. Tries to get a run here on shutters. And he'll complete the position. Nicely done. Yusuf Ghali up 8 positions now to 2nd. Has a lot of work to do, though, to chase down the 14 car. Also want to note that we have the Racing Revolution Cup Series live on Vspeed. You can go check that out right now. It's live simultaneously. Our other producer, Morgan Cook, running alongside with Mike Noss, the lead commentator over there. Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series is on its first official points race of the season, and they will follow alongside with the actual NASCAR Cup Series schedule all year long, all the way into November. So a long, long season. If you don't get a chance to catch it tonight, there's plenty of opportunities there. Make sure you go check it out. But here live for the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series, GT Hawkins has led officially 46 laps out of the 97 that are about to be completed. He is on top and on point after picking up 19 spots here tonight at Dover. Yusuf Ghali in 2nd spot. The 45 car up 8 positions. He's had to make a tough time. He's done a lot of work, but he's been one of the few cars that's passed here tonight. Radburn Shutters, your pole sitter, falls back to 3rd. He's under fire from Brandon Holder within 0.2 of a second. And that 9 car with a lot of confidence after this week. Remember, he got a win on Monday night. And he's coming into this race with a lot of confidence. Let's see what he can do as he tries to track down the pole sitter. John Schwartz in the 48 car. He's up 13 positions, so the 2nd biggest gainer of this race. He's coming off a good week last week as well. Remember Las Vegas, a good one for him. Had some laps led in that race, I believe, as well. There's Michael Kostick in the 8 car. The drinking school buddy, he's come to be known as. Right on board with the number 8. Kostick holding the wheel pretty steady. A lot of drivers kind of feel that float. The car gets light on the transition of the exit of 2. There's a big hump there as you enter the backstretch. Very easy to get too high up on that exit and lose the rear end up into the wall. So we'll ride on board one more time. You can see what I'm talking about right here. Double diamond on the corner to try to avoid that. There it is. And you have to have that wheel kind of straight as you come across that transition. Eric Hutton in the 87 car. Now he's down 2 spots. He's had a little bit of a struggle here tonight. But the Burger King Chevrolet Camaro and the 87 car have been solid. They find a way at some point in this race to get up front. We'll have to wait and see, as we still have over half of this race left to go. Peyton Hubbard, who had a loose condition there earlier in this race in that first stage. He's since settled down. The Cofield Supply 51 car is holding it into the top 10, currently in 8th spot. And then behind him, Blake Hensley, who had good stage points, has since kind of fallen out of the picture. He is 7.1 seconds back from the lead car right now. Same with Justin Sorrell, rounding out your top 10. These drivers need to get off the strategy of the rest of this field. If they can stretch it a couple more laps than the guys in front of them, maybe have an opportunity to pick up a couple more positions. Because right now, it seems like Dirty Air is just destroying the runs these cars are having. So back up front, Hawkins now 1.6 seconds ahead of the 45, who's not been able to reel him in at all. And there's no save, no slow, all go for the 14. And he continues to climb. The clean air has been king here tonight. And that's only going to get worse as this track continues to rubber up. Shutters starts to reel back the 45 a little bit here. He's got it within 3/10 as they exit turn 2. Big run down the backstretch. And really loose there off the exit of 2. That's going to allow the 44 to get right up on the rear bumper as they enter turn 1. He's going to choose that clean air, late apex turn 2, and another big run coming here off the backstretch. Dive to the inside for second. Pass is completed. And your pole sitter back on the surge. 2 seconds to make up to the 14 of Hawkins. Oh, the 45 rather. He saves it, but really loose there off the exit of 4. Take a quick instant replay of that. That was an oh-no moment for Yusuf Ghali down the front stretch. I think really sideways, but he didn't even go really off the concrete surface. Not as bad as I thought it was. We've seen a lot worse here tonight with some of these drivers, but unfortunately he loses a ton of ground, and now Brandon Holder breathing down his neck. Spirit Airlines 45 is struggling on handling right now. Gonna get a little bit light as the 9 takes the air off the spoiler here. He's holding on to it as best he can, but a change for third position about to be underway as Holder dives to the inside in 3 and 4. Side by side as they exit the corner, loses the nose a little bit there, and defense by the 45 to hold on for at least one more lap. Another dive now to 1 and 2. Holder gonna take this position away. Hopefully we'll be able to do it cleanly because the handling of both those cars after 36, 37 laps on these tires, it's just not there anymore. This allows John Schwartz into the picture as well. Will he follow the 9 car? 45 is just going to overrun and let them go to the inside. Unfortunately, though, that opened up the door for Kostick, and he might lose 3 positions. 48 car now dives to the inside of Holder. He peaks down low into 3. So Eric Hutton's starting to rebound now from the 7th position. He's caught up to this 4th, 5th spot. Actually, Holder in 3rd, so he has the potential to gain a top 3 out of this. He just has to navigate these cars correctly. He might have been saving those tires, which is a wise decision here at Dover. They burn off so quickly. Hawkins' lead dwindles down to 1.5 seconds now. He might be in save mode, but let's ride on board with him here. Looks like he's a little loose through 1 and 2. Dive now into 3 and 4. You can watch that interval shrink a little bit more now to shutters on top of your screen. 1.3 seconds last time by. 24.7 to a 24.6. Shutters a tenth faster, and he's clicking it away lap after lap. We're approaching that halfway point. For those of you that are new to this broadcast, this is the time and place. If you have a volume button or a remote control nearby, we're going to bring some noise here on Vspeed. The Overtake iRacing League has plenty of cars going around this racetrack right now. Let's listen to 500 plus horsepower at the Monster Mile. Coming by to lead another lap. 72 laps led now officially for GT Hawkins. And the 14 machine has been stout, but the lead dwindles down a little more with each lap. Last time by, he was another tenth slower. 1.3, 1.2 seconds is all the interval is now as we approach what I would think is going to split this run. 5 sets of tires here tonight. You can afford to come down pit road an extra time if needed. We know that Hawkins saved enough to go 76 laps, but I don't predict that that's going to be the case this time around. He'll probably sit somewhere in the 60s. I would look for him to come down within the next 30 laps. Probably somewhere around lap 155 is my prediction. That lead continues to shrink. 3.5 seconds over Brandon Holder, though. So these guys really on their own strategy. Interesting to see how this plays out. 45 of Yusuf Ghali down pit road now. So he said enough's enough. The right front's gone. I need tires now. Let's see if I can make up some time. So the Spirit Airlines 45. 4 tires and fuel. Topping off with some Sunoco fuel, but it looks like maybe a speeding penalty for Yusuf Ghali. Officially, yes, he is going to have a hold of 30 seconds, and that will probably ruin his day as he's going to lose a lap or two. Unfortunate there for the 45 car. Down and away now for the 45 after serving that penalty. I have to be careful here tonight. And I might have got the pit road speed wrong. I don't think it's 55. iRacing said it's 55, but I don't think they're correct. I think it's a lot slower than that. I want to say it's in the 40s, maybe 40 even. Either way, we're fast approaching on green flag pit stops for the first time today. Shutters and Hawkins on their own island, own zip code entirely, 3.6 seconds ahead of Holder. That lead dwindles down a little bit though, and Hawkins was about 2/10 slower than both of these drivers in the top three. He just has to hold on to that lead. He has the short and medium run speed. It seems like the long run is really the only place that Shutter starts to reel him back in. Oh, and a little tag with the wall there as he exits turn 4. That won't help the handling much, but doesn't look like he got any substantial damage there. Greg Schroeder on the prowl now to the inside of Justin Sorrell for the 8th spot. Peyton Hubbard comes down pit road now. David Farmer goes by for 12th. There's Eric Hutton getting 4 tires and fuel. Down and away for the 87 car. Battle for the lead heats up a little bit more. Lucas Lyons, thank you. 35 is the pit speed. Unfortunately, an early vacation here, early exit there for Lucas Lyons tonight. Lucas, while we have you in the chat, what happened out there, man? Car Brandon Holder comes down pit road now. You can see the roof of the 14 and the 44 going by. So he'll lose a lap, but hopefully no cautions come out. He'll be able to cycle through and get back out there on the lead lap. He was in the top 3 when he came down. So the first in the top 3 to come in. And now let's see how much further Hawkins and Shutters push the issue, as they were about 3 seconds ahead. John Schwartz, 4.7 back, and that lead continuing to grow. Hawkins might have been in a little bit of conservation mode. He's since started to match lap times with Shutters, and that lead isn't dwindling anymore. It's not his first time being up front, I can tell you that. Tires in the 87 car. Hutton goes by on the outside. Looks like a rocket ship going by. Look at a big run down the backstretch. It's amazing what that 55 lap difference on tires will do. Makes you feel like Superman passing some of these cars. But Hutton will earn one of those laps back as they come across the line. First car a lap down, David Farmer. He's been in that situation all night. He's stretched this run out as long as he can, but he's going to have to come down pit road, and unfortunately, he'll remain a lap down after they cycle pit stops. So the 8 car of Caustic now hits the pit lane. 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel for the number 8 car. Still plenty of racing left to do. Caustic, a top 10 finish, well within his reach. Down and away now for Caustic. Hutton gets by him. So maybe not the greatest pit stop there. We had about the same amount of time. 7/10 slower into the box down the lane, and he'll lose a couple positions there on pit road. Still have 8 cars yet to hit the pits. Shutters is going to come down now. He's followed in by John Schwartz in the 48 car. This is probably the cue, since Hawkins is able to stay in the lead and hold off the 44. There he comes now. Nice and clean on pit road, but was that too conservative? Will he lose the lead to the 44 car? Here comes Craig Schroeder by on the outside. He'll get a lap led now as he crosses the line. Four tires and Sunoco fuel for a deep pit stall here for the 14. Remember, started back in the 20th position tonight. He's got to be slow on entry and exit. He has both ends of pit road to worry about speeding. Down and away here for the 14 car. We'll unleash that power. Back out on the concrete surface at the Monster Mile. Nick Mills down side by side with Craig Schroeder, and that looked like it might have been interesting to enter the pits. Let's take a quick instant replay and see how that happened. Mills said, "You know what? You're being a little too slow for my entry." So he takes over the point. Eric Hutton, one of the first cars down pit road, takes over the lead on lap 144. Coming by for lap 145, a lap led now for Eric Hutton. I hope you're enjoying tonight's action here at the Monster Mile. Green flag pit stops have completed. We've cycled out 145 laps of the 240 miles here tonight. We're going to take a quick commercial break here for the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series live on Vspeed. We'll be back right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37. Oh!
Where did he come from?
Here
comes Thwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back live in Dover, Delaware. The Overtake iRacing League Cup Series has completed 153 miles of the 240 scheduled. Some tough luck here tonight. We have 14 cars still out on the racetrack. David Farmer, who started up front here today, he is one lap down along with about 5 other drivers. And we have 5 cars off the racetrack. Yusuf Ghali has retired after getting a pit road speeding penalty. Cody Anderson, Lucas Lyons, Daniel Worthington, Sean Kaser, and Wes Wiggin have all parked it behind the wall here tonight. As we get a blimp aerial shot of the Monster Mile here, the concrete surface has darkened in. You can see those turns 3 and 4 there on the right-hand side of your screen. Very dark. Taking over the lead, it's Eric Hutton and the number 87. He is 2.5 seconds ahead of Radburn Shutters, and tires have been so key here tonight. I actually wanted to bring up the race recap before I brought that ticker back up. 3 cautions. We've went caution-free since the stage break on lap 75. The winner of that stage, Radburn Shutters, who was able to get back around. Hawkins after pit stops here as well. And he's chasing down the number 87 car as we speak. Air temperature 74 degrees, 110 on the track right now. Very slippery and greasy out there. You can see a lot of these guys have been losing the nose, losing the right rear. It's been a tough one here tonight. And how about Eric Hutton to hold on to this lead? Just have to wait and see if that strategy pays off for him. We've still got a lot of racing left to do. So your pole sitter starts to chase him down. He's got it under a second now. As he slowly reels in Hutton. Take a look at how many laps have been led. Shutters has only 33. Hawkins has led the most laps here tonight. But after those green flag pit stops, he loses almost a full second. More than that, 1.3. And he does have that 2-lap tire advantage. So he'll have the ability to reel the 44 car back in as you see him getting a little bit bigger in that mirror. Change for the lead though, coming off of turn 2 on the inside of Eric Hutton, and a quick change at that. Hutton, remember, has about 10-lap older tires to these guys. So next in line, the 14 car works his way up towards second position. And he's looking to get 2 spots here within the next 10 laps. Probably won't get any kind of defense from the 87 car as we saw with the leader. The Shutters went by. How about Hutton? He always figures out a way to put his car up here into the top 5 at some point in these races. If he can hold on to it, might get a podium finish. Although Brandon Holder has been quite fast here tonight. So on by for second spot, now chasing down your leader. An update on that interval, 1 second ahead. And just under that as they shave it down in 3 and 4. Car going by the inside of Hutton, but that is not for the 3rd spot. That is a lap down car. That is the 99 of Justin Sorrell. trying to get by the 87. Their side-by-side is actually holding up Eric Hutton a little bit here as he plays defense on the outside line. But he will let the 99 go eventually here. Hopefully he doesn't get into the wall. That is allowing Brandon Holder to catch up to him a little bit at a time. Shout out to you in chat if you're still alive and I haven't hypnotized you for 164 miles here tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button here on Vspeed. It helps us out more than you'll ever know. Helps us out with the algorithm. Yeah, that's a fun word to say. Don't really know what it means. Sure everybody in chat is out there enjoying this right now, but make sure you hit the subscribe button here on Vspeed so you never miss a single race. We're bringing all 3 series of the Overtake iRacing League from the Truck Series, Xfinity, and Cup here on Wednesday night, all starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We saw some great racing there on Monday at Richmond. Brandon Holder gets the win. Now, personally for me, I did not have a great race last night, but I will say that Indianapolis was a good time. It was good to get back out on the racetrack. I had fun. It was nice to get out, race with these guys after watching them for 6 weeks solid now. 0.8 of a second. Hawkins reels him in a little bit more. Last time by, a tenth faster. And it's more the same. These two kind of getting on an island of their own. Brandon Holder reels in third place driver Eric Hutton. Hutton's starting to get a little bit loose, and those tires have not evened out. Don't think we're going to see that here tonight like we did at Richmond. The 2-tire stop. On board with the 9 of Holder. He's going to try to make quick work of Eric Hutton on the inside. He will get that pass off. Mike on cue with the 69s tonight. We're cycling around here looking for some racing. Close battle here between what would be the 51 car, 56 car rather, of Craig Schroeder, but he is a lap down. And the 17 of James Silvers also. He's actually scored 3 laps down here tonight. We only have 9 cars left on the lead lap. Some of these guys are praying for caution, but good chance here is the way these guys race right now. It could happen right here in front of our eyes. Let's keep the camera and see what happens. Right front of the 17, all but knocked off here. He's been struggling with this run. Really loose coming off of 2. Oh boy. Costa gets loose, almost some 3 wide. They're working on it. And they get by the 8 car. Doesn't lose any spots out of this, but I know he wanted to stay in front of these guys because if they get to racing and something happens, he can get caught up in it. So now Silver's trying to chase down Schroeder. This is not for position. All over the back bumper there. Checking back in with their leader. The lead is stretched back out to a second. And remember, we still have 1 more set of pit stops at the least. Some of these guys might be trying to stretch it to just make 1 more stop. It's going to be close, but I think these guys should be good for that. They're running about 65 laps on the last stint. And now 34 laps in. You're right on cue here to split this run on about lap 200. Who's going to blink first, though? Does the 44 car come in early like he did before? Hawkins lost a lot of ground to him, and he's been trying to reel it back in ever since. Also have to take into the equation Eric Hutton, who came down and took over the lead after his pit stop. And he had more of the same and hold on for the victory. He's a little bit further on this run, but he's still in the ballpark for making one more stop. Keeping it under one. That's what you're probably going to have to do here. Still a lot of cars praying for a caution. Doesn't look like they're going to get it, though. I know there's still a lot of laps, but this field very spread out now. Last time by, Hawkins lost a couple more tenths. Looks like the handling of that car starting to struggle a little bit. And Shutters gets that clean air. That's what he does. He's been pulling away, setting sail. He did it at the start of this race, and the lead was about similar to what it was in just about 6 laps time. So imagine what he can do with 50, 60 laps on a run. Especially with a struggling Hawkins right now. Maybe he overdrove that thing a little bit. He had the tire advantage. He came down a lap and a half later than the 44 car. So he does have fresher tires, but based off the way he's handling right now, might have overdrove it, or the track conditions have changed so tremendously the 1 lap difference just doesn't show anymore. Might need rain here on the simulator coming in March. Rinse some of this rubber off and give us a green track. Of course, we are past the halfway point, so if it rains long enough, we will call it at this point. And I'm kind of excited to see how this strategy plays out. John Schwartz starting to reel in. Third place driver Brandon Holder. Last time by, he was a little bit faster. He's hanging tight with him here. So a lot of work left to do, and looking at 60 laps roughly left to go. Not a lot of cars really close together. The closest battle really on the racetrack right now is between 3rd and 4th position. And Holder kind of trapped back behind the 99 right now of Sorrell. Tries to go by on the inside now. Doesn't quite get the clear he wanted out of 2, but he will get by. Unfortunately, it allowed the 48 car to catch up to him a little bit. And now Schwartz down the front stretch, looking like he might have an opportunity within the next 5 laps. There's David Farmer on fresh tires. The 84 car gets 1 of the 4 laps back that he was down. Like a rocket ship out of 2. Pulls away down the backstretch. And now Shutters with a 2-second lead. We're starting to cycle some more cars down pit road. There's Blake Hensley in the 31 car. Checking the black box, getting the fuel in this machine. 4 tires, full tank of Sunoco race fuel. He'll be down and away here momentarily. Did he get a speeding penalty? It appears he did. And not looking too happy on camera about it. So holding penalty 31 car was on track to get a top 10 and unfortunately gets stuck on pit road. With the speeding easy to do here, we've seen a couple different drivers have that problem tonight. Yusuf Ghali, one of those other drivers that had those struggles on pit road here today. Looking at the top 10, this is Craig Schroeder in the 10th spot right now. He does have a lap lead here tonight. Maybe stayed out a little bit too long and found himself a lap down. 7 cars left on the lead lap now. The lead continues to grow here for the 44 of Shutters. 3.5 seconds over the 14 of Hawkins. We'll take a look at it with the blimp camera. This entire field spans out around this entire speedway. And it's only 14 cars out here tonight after 5 retirees, actually 6 rather. We had 20 cars to start the night. Sean Case are taking a very early exit in the 25 car. Peyton Hubbard comes down pit road now here on lap 193. He's pitting from about the 6th, 7th position. And this should put him in the window to make it to the very end of this race. By to put him a lap down now. Hubbard actually going to lose another lap. 2 laps down now for 51. And that's what 3.5, almost 4 seconds now. Looks like back to Hawkins. He's not even in the picture now, unfortunately. Shutter's showing a lot of speed here on this concrete 1 mile oval. Doing what he set out to do by getting the pole position here tonight. Brandon Holder looking at a possible podium. He is 12 seconds ahead of Michael Kostick. And without a caution, we're going to maintain these gaps. They're going to continue to grow. I know Holder really fast at the tail end of that last run, but here he comes down pit road now. Michael Kostick came in just behind him. There's John Schwartz at the bottom of your screen, down and away out of his pit stall. 99 of Sorrell is in as well. There goes Shutters around for another lap. Hawkins brings it down pit road. Four tires and fuel, and they'll have 1 set left here for the 14 team. Here comes Shutters now down pit road. So Hawkins had to try something. He tried to short pit. Let's see if he got a better in and out of the pits. Excellent job there by the 44. No mistakes on pit road. Make sure he didn't get a speeding penalty. Left side's going to go up now. will take a fuel. He might actually take a little less than that, and he's down and away. 14.6 seconds in the stall. Now Craig Schroeder comes around to lead another lap. Will he stretch it one more to get 2 laps led here tonight? Or will he just bring it down pit road? Amazing. Shutter's actually that close. He's only 3 seconds back from Schroeder, and he's reeling him in quickly. Hawkins loses another position on pit road. John Schwartz is able to edge him out, and the 48 car finds himself ahead, maybe in second position after the 56 of Schroeder comes down to pit. Can he hold on to it though? 2-lap difference on tires. You'll start to notice that here. Schroeder's going to stretch out a little bit further, but he's got company now. The change back for the lead as Shutters takes it over. 38 laps to go now as the 44 crosses the line, and he will clinch the most laps led if he gets one more. Actually, I take that back. He needs 20 more. I apologize. See what I know. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree with that logic. I don't know who told you that or why you feel that way. But Alex, I'm not gonna say this more than once. You are wrong. Apology accepted. And bologna is just hot dog pancakes. So there you go. Down pit road now for the 56 of Schroeder. John Schwartz going to go by on the outside. 14 of Hawkins chasing close behind. And the 56 hits the lane. Looks like he got it down to speed okay. The Radburn Shutters has pulled out to 5-second lead over the 48 car. 6 seconds over Hawkins. He's in another time zone. He has warped time-space continuum. I don't even think he's in Delaware anymore. He's in victory lane. If we finish this thing out green, he is good to go. Hot dogs on pizza. Oh, I need a commercial break. You guys are watching the Overtake iRacing League live on Vspeed. Something's wrong with my chat. I don't know how to fix it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, let these guys calm down, get their heads right, and we'll be back live here on Vspeed right after this.
Here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back live at Dover, Delaware. The Overtake iRacing League has completed 215 laps out of 240 scheduled here today. The Monster Mile has not been kind to 6 drivers: Yusuf Ghali, Wes Fliegen, Cody Anderson, Lucas Lyons, Daniel Worthington, and Sean Kaser have taken an early vacation. But we're continuing on here with your leader, Radford Shutters. He is officially going to clinch the most laps led, and if this race stays green, he'll get the victory here tonight. After winning the stage, he's back here up front. 84, Cody Farmer, or Cody Anderson? No, let's try this again. David Farmer. Yeah, you guys got me all messed up. You guys got me all messed up. Talking about 4 seconds ahead of Hawkins. Shorts back in third, 5 seconds back. We have 7 cars left on the lead lap. Back to 7th position, Peyton Hubbard, who is 17 seconds away from the leader, and that threat is going a lap down. Back there, a little speck on your screen there was the 44. No, I wasn't really hungry, Donna. I had smash burgers. I made smash burgers for dinner tonight. With secret sauce, special sauce, whatever you want to call it. 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, tablespoon of yellow mustard, mix that up. And when you're getting ready to flip those things, a little dollop of that, crisps them right up. Tastes amazing. Are superior to any hot dog in the world. Although I do like coney dogs. Those are okay. So it looks like we're frozen here in time. I don't know that anybody's going to catch up to Hawkins. Schwartz is holding on to third right now. It doesn't look like Holder, with 20 laps left in this race. He has a shot, but 0.6 of a second is a tall order. He's reeling him in slowly, though. On pace here. This time by is about 0.3 faster. Eric Hutton looking like a top 5 night for him after the short pit. Didn't quite pan out the way he wanted it to this time around. He is a little bit slower than this top 4, so he'll probably stay in the 5th spot, barring we don't have a yellow. Michael Kostick, up and down day, but ultimately he stayed on the lead lap, which is tough to say for the rest of the half of this field. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. Peyton Hubbard is at threat to go a lap down here within about 3 seconds of your leader in 7th position. There's Shutters coming into turn 1 right behind him. So we went clean and green from the stage break on lap 75. Shutters got the victory there. He's looked good in the GG's 44 ever since the green flag. He started up on the pole here tonight. A little hiccup there where he came down pit road, topped off with fuel. He went back and forth with Hawkins, but after green flag pit stops, Hawkins has lost a considerable amount of time. He's kind of stuck in traffic here with Farmer in front of him. Laps to go, and the 44 car crosses the line. Right on board here now with the 44, and see just how difficult it's been here tonight. He's making it look easy, but he's navigating some traffic. Things can still happen here, plenty of time. If you've never seen a lap car get loose, that's how it happens right there. You can see Hubbard starting to feel the pressure of going a lap down, and maybe overdrives it a little bit there on the exit of 4. A little peek there in the mirror. Another loose condition off of turn 4 again. He's going to go up way high and allow the 44 to just go right on by. Courteous move there from Peyton Hubbard. And Shutters puts another one a lap down. 6 cars left on the lead lap. Michael Kostick would be the next one at threat, but I think he has enough time to make it to the end of this race on the lead lap. Best lap time set on the racetrack was set by GT Hawkins. 23.332. That is only 4 thousandths of a second faster than your leader right now, who is currently running 24.4 on his last time by. And looking like he's going to seal the deal with 10 laps to go as they cross the line. I appreciate you guys coming into the chat. It's been tough here tonight for me as a commentator to find things to talk about with how spread out this field has been. While we were on a commercial break, though, or some point when we came back, the 9 of Holder found a way to get around the 48 car and get by for a podium finish. And unfortunately, Schwartz falls back. He's not going to be able to get that 3rd spot. I know he was holding on to it for quite some time, but 8 laps to go. He finds himself in 4th. Eric Hutton starting to reel him in a little bit here. He's about 2 seconds back. Don't know if he has enough time or not. He's not really that much faster. He's pretty even on lap times. Or it's about 2/10. That time by, not a good lap for Hutton. Again, back to the action here tonight. We had 2 cautions to start this race out. Heavy damage from Cody Anderson and Daniel Worthington get together on the backstretch. That brought out the first one. Then we had a single car spin with, I believe it was Worthington again. I had to lock it up on the front stretch. Hubbard did the same thing. I mean, had some loose conditions, but since we went green after the stage break, these guys here at the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series have just shown the skill level, how tough it is to win here, and how spread out this field can be. When you've completed every lap, you've been on the same stint, you're on the same tires as everyone else, and only 6 of you have remained on the lead lap. That shows how competitive Radburn, Shutters, Hawkins, Holder, these guys have been all night. And unfortunate for the pit stops that Hawkins wasn't able to maintain, because now he is matching lap times, if not a little bit faster than the 44 car. But with only 4 laps to go as he crosses the line, it looks like Shutters has locked this thing up. Kudos to the 14 to gain all the positions he's gained here tonight. Did a phenomenal job, 91 laps led. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the most. And the 44 car just edges them out as he comes by 108 and 2 to go. White flag will be out next time by for the 44 of Shutters. And a clinic that he put on here. 5.2 seconds as he goes to take the white flag. One more time, one more mile. Barney has the white flag waving. The gap back here to the 14 car is tremendous. And it's enough to seal the deal. It's official now. Off of 1 and 2, down the back stretch for the final time. He'll come into 3 and 4. And another great performance. The Monster Mile has been tamed. And Radburn Shutters off of turn 4 is your winner here tonight in the Cup Series. Well-deserved victory, 109 laps led. Started on the pole. And here tonight, just phenomenal job. And burning it down on the front stretch now. Your winner here today, Radburn Shutters. Post-race interviews with your top 3. You're watching the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series live on Vspeed. We're going to take a quick commercial break, be back live with your final results. And your top 3 up here in the booth right after this. Live at Dover, the Overtake iRacing League has completed its 240-mile race at the Monster Mile, and Radburn Shutters gets the stage, gets the victory, got the pole, the trifecta here for the 44 tonight, as he led over 100 laps to take the victory. Final results up on your screen. It's GT Hawkins going to start in 20th and race his way all the way up to a top 3. He's going to come home second. Brandon Holder, 3rd position. Another podium day for the 9. John Schwartz, not able to hold on to the top 3, but does get a good 4th place finish. Eric Hutton in the number 87 will get 5th tonight. Michael Kostick in 6th. Peyton Hubbard, the first car a lap down. And yes, you read that right, 7th position. Only 6 cars left on the lead lap. Brendan McLaughlin is going to finish in 8th with Justin Sorrell in 9th. Greg Schroeder rounds out the top 10. Nick Mills in the 11th spot with David Farmer in 12th. Blake Hensley in the 31 after that speeding penalty. He's 2 laps down in 13. James Silvers brings it home in the 14th position. Unfortunate night for him. And then these cars did not finish the race. You have the 45 of Yusuf Ghali, Wes Wiegand in the 89, Cody Anderson, heavy damage, Lucas Lyons, the 77 and 18th, 19th, Daniel Worthington, Sean Kaser in 20th, and Matt Greener will finish 21st tonight. So there's your victor of the day, the 44 car of Shutters. We have a couple of drivers down here on pit road that we're getting caught up with. And first guy that we're going to talk to here tonight is your third place finisher. After 3 cautions, 12 lead changes, it's Brandon Holder with another podium day in the 9 car. Brandon, I know that this race didn't quite go as planned. The pit stops, the strategy kind of got out of cycle. But ultimately, on the long run, you were able to pick guys back off and come back up for a third place finish.
Yeah, I really wore my tires out in practice, so and also I missed pit road, so that didn't help matters. But I'm glad to get a P3 for sure. It seemed like we were racing for 6 hours. Long race.
Tell me about it. Up here in the booth, you guys had the fields so spread out. I was running out of things. We were talking about hot dogs and pizza. and I don't know where you stand on this, but pizza is far superior to hot dogs. I don't know what my chat's on about here.
Oh, it's not even a race.
No, it's not even in the same ballpark. So that aside, Brandon, you've had a lot of podiums. You've been up here in the Vspeed booth a lot. And here tonight, the Monster Mile, it's a tough place to come to. One of 2 concrete tracks on the service. And you kind of made it look easy at times, but you made it look tough. How difficult was it?
Well, I mean, it's real easy to want to overdrive it, which in turn burns your tires off. So if you hold it back and stay off the right pedal a little bit, it's not that bad. I mean, the car would pretty much drive itself.
Drive itself. I don't know how much faith I have with Jesus take the wheel with this place. The turn 2 wall sneaks up pretty quick. And then we talked about the strategy. Did you have anything playing in your head with that first stage? I know that some drivers stretched it all the way out. You came down and topped off, and it didn't seem like it really mattered because the field just spread out right after that.
Yeah, I didn't have any issue with fuel. I think GT was able to stretch it out by not pitting. I know Farmer had to pit, so man, Alex Penn is the man that calls all the strategy. So I mean, he deserves all the praise for that.
Brandon, while we have you up here in the Vspeed booth, I know you got a list of them. You can go ahead and shout them out for that third place finish.
All right, I got to thank BK Paints for my car. It's one of the best looking cars he's ever done, in my opinion. Aerial Pros of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, GG's of Waynesville, Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire. And I want to thank everybody at Cornerstone. It's really a team effort over there, and it's really fun to run with those guys.
1, 2, 3 from Cornerstone here tonight. And we'll be talking to your teammates here momentarily. Thank you for your time, Brandon. Congratulations on third place.
Thanks, buddy.
Cornerstone driver Brandon Holder, third place finisher here tonight. And we move on down pit road. Didn't have to go far, but here he is, GT Hawkins in the booth with us. And I want you to tell me where you stand, Hawkins, because I've already gotten one opinion. Hot dog or pizza, and I don't know what's on with the chat, but Donna said pizza, so I assume you're on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I think a mediocre slice of pizza is easily like a hot dog is a really, the best hot dog is as good as like a mediocre piece of pizza, I think.
Yeah, I would compare that to as far as junk food goes. We're gonna classify it as that. It is the worst of the junk food. There's a reason they only cost $2 a pack. Okay, so let's get that out of the way.
It's
okay,
bologna tube.
Yes, it's bologna in a tube. Agreed. Bologna is just hot dog pancakes. So We had a great race here tonight. I know the strategy on pit road kind of put you on a damper. You fell back a little bit. How tough was it to get on and off pit road? 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the strategy. I mean, Redburn got a good 2 seconds on me on the last stop, so he just nailed it. Um, and but I mean, that wouldn't have mattered anyways. He was dominant, and I mean, it didn't matter. It was a really fun setup and track combination to drive because the first run I ran my right front too hard. And then it was tight, and so I was like, I'll try to work in the right rear a little bit more, and then it was loose the next run. So you had that that there was a very thin line between tight or loose, and you really don't have that anywhere. It's usually one or the other strictly. So it was fun to drive, but I mean, props to Radburn. He had it figured out. He was the man.
Well, the whole team very productive here today. You get a 1-2-3 finish in the top three, and then going back and looking at your race, though, all in all, you gained a ton of positions, and that no call or that call to stay out rather on the no pit, it gained you 19 spots. You started back in 20th, and how important was that in itself?
Yeah, that first run, I was I had to drop the clutch and shut it off both ends I did that for 40 laps and just barely made it. So that was I totally forgot about that. That feels like it was years ago. that was
Yeah.
That was just to get us to the stage. So yeah, I was working hard this whole thing.
It was about 165 miles ago that happened, but you pulled it off. You stretched that run out to 76 laps, and you come home second. Great drive tonight. I know the speed was there. It just the pit road really that was the only drawback. Congrats on second. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out while we got you?
Yeah, thanks to my teammates at Cornerstone. That was awesome. I'm pumped about that race. I think we can keep that up for sure in the rest of the season here. Glory Pole, everybody at OiL. Thank you, Bradley, for broadcasting. Do a great job. And all my friends, family out there watching, thanks.
Well, if you could just spin it out to make it interesting for me next time, I would appreciate that. I ran out of things to talk about 200 laps in. So,
hey, I was yelling debris. I saw it the whole time. I don't know why they didn't throw it, but I was trying for you.
We tried. Well, maybe when the rain comes out in March, maybe we'll get something like that to happen. But Hawkins, thank you for your time, buddy, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks. We'll see you.
Second place finisher of the night and Cornerstone driver GT Hawkins in the number 14. And that finally brings us to the dominant driver of the day. Excuse me. I've been consuming a ton of water, guys, and trying to keep this voice healthy so we can get this post-race interview here in Victory Lane with Radburn Shutters in the 44. 111 laps led. You started on the pole, you won the stage, and you won the race. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. That was an awesome run.
It was
I'm
clean
glad
and
it's
green from 75 on.
Yeah, that's what I was really hoping for. The better green flag runs that we have, the longer green flag runs, the better. Usually for me, especially at Dover. I don't feel like I may have won the pole, but I don't think I have that short run speed like some of these guys do. They're able to hang it in there a little better than I can sometimes. And after 20, 25 laps or so, the car just kind of come into me. It felt real good. I was able to get in the groove and just kind of zone out really for a little while, especially once we got spaced out, single filed out. It was kind of just every man on their own fighting, driving this track in itself. This track's a bear. You're never not modulating the throttle or the gas. It seems like it's an absolute bear of a track that'll wear you out. Just really glad that we knocked back 240 and was the first one to finish.
That's the important thing. You're the guy up front on that last lap, and you killed it on pit road. We were talking to Hawkins there, your teammate, and he said that's really where you got him, was coming into pit stops. And what is the secret to getting on pit road here when you're coming down from 140 plus to 35 miles per hour?
Really, nothing replaces practice. Only thing you can do is really find the limit and then practice, hone hone what your ability can do as far as getting to that limit or as close to it. And pit road, man, especially a place like here, you can get 2/10 on somebody, or you can make it 2 seconds. I didn't practice it enough. That last pit stop, I flew in. I think I closed my eyes probably 20 yards before the cone, and by miracle, I was down to speed. But I definitely scorched the tires on the way in. Thought it was over with. I think the iRacing gods helped me out on that one big time.
It's a close call, but ultimately it's null and void. You are victorious here tonight. Radburn Shutters, your win here, staple in what is a championship run. You've been having a great time here in the Cup Series. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yep. We start with our sponsors. Let me thank GG's in Waynesville, Function Junction, Mountain View Detailing, Waynesville Tire, and everybody at Cornerstone. We've been practicing a lot, trying to get these tracks hammered down before Wednesdays, and getting used to these cars after 20, 30, 40 laps. That's repetition's the only way you can get better in this, and we've been doing a really good job. Everybody's been doing their thing with the team. It's working out real well so far. We come away great tonight on points. It really paid off. Got to thank my old lady for allowing these wild hobbies of ours.
Oh,
Not
I know
everybody
all
gets
about that.
not everybody gets to sit at the computer for 3 hours on a Wednesday night for nothing, So, special thanks to Alex Healy for calling it. He called me winning the race in practice today. I was in here early and he called it, told him I'd shout him out if it happened, and lo and behold, here we are. Thank y'all at the broadcast, putting on a great show. Can't wait to go back and watch it, and ready to get after it next week.
Well, I don't know if I trust anything that Alex Healy says. He did call the win tonight, but then proceeded to say hot dogs are better than pizza. So I don't really know what's going on with that guy here tonight. He loves triangles. I know that. I do know that.
Yeah, you gotta watch Healy, don't you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We appreciate your time. Congratulations again, and go celebrate, man. Enjoy this victory, and we hope to see you next week up here in the booth, buddy.
Absolutely. We're liable to see you next week, Bradley. Take care. Appreciate it.
Race winner, Cornerstone Motorsports driver Radburn Shutters in the 44 gets the victory here tonight at Dover. Stage win and the pole. It was a perfect day for the 44 team, and his teammates close behind had a great race as well. So that just about does it for us here on Vspeed. If you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single race. The Overtake iRacing League will be back live and racing in the Cup Series Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch that all here on Vspeed. You never want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll bring that schedule up on your screen now and talk about the next race. We're going to go to Chicago Street Course for 45 laps. A track I'm not familiar with, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers are going to be in the same boat. The newly configured street course, road course in Chicago should be exciting. And then we go to Indianapolis for race number 8 of the season. But that concludes week number 6 of this season, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. For everybody at Vspeed that helped put it together, Adam Baker in the background helping us out with the graphics, awesome overlays. As always, our other producers, Eddie Smith and Morgan Cook. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, it's burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag